guys. I hope everybody's having a good start to the weekend. Friday, good start to the week. Well, it's been happy as bank holiday weekend. This weekend, hope it's having a Friday. Being the start of the weekend. Well, it's technically Saturday, but I'm off today, so can't complain too much. I'm off till Tuesday now, so enjoy my time off. But anyways, I'm gonna read Spider-Man 2, but I'm not gonna read the theatrical release. I'm gonna do the extended copy 2.1, as known as 2.1, which is 8 minutes longer than the theatrical version. Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 2 is a critically acclaimed film. It's the best Spider-Man franchise, Tom Maguire, Sam Raimi franchise, trilogy. It's considered one of the greatest superhero movies of all time, and it is, to this day, the best Spider-Man 2 film. Maybe I say maybe my third favorite superhero film of all, no, actually. Top five, maybe my fourth or fifth. I'll say Dark Knight's number one. Then I'll say Batman Begins, Batman 1989, First Avengers. Then this is top five. I think probably top five. Um, Greatest superhero films of all time. Basically, this is like I think 2 years after the first Batman film, the Tom Maguire trilogy. I reviewed the first Batman film in due course and Batman 3 in due course as well. But 2 years after the events of the first one, Tom Maguire is struggling to come mix his personal life with Peter Parker as well as his superhero life as an amazing Spider-Man. He's not doing too well with he's a part-time delivery driver. He gets fired because whilst saving somebody, Spider-Man misses delivery order at the requested time. Also, he's not doing well there, big girl. He's not performing up to his boss's standard, James's standard. Um, also, he's having issues with his best friend Harry, because Harry thinks that he killed his father. And no more has been played by Willem Dafoe, and and he blames Spider-Man for his father's death. Peter's struggling to deal with the guilt cause he knows the truth that Green Goblin, his father's Green Goblin, killed innocent people, and he killed himself by accidentally getting impaled by his own glider. But he's struggling to tell. He doesn't know how to break the news to Harry, and also his love his life MJ. But like he's abandoning her by not turning up to her shows because she's having a successful career as a boy actress now. She hit it big time now, and she feels that Harry Pete's not is not fulfilling, not being a true friend to her. So this film is a bit more about that dilemma. What do you do? Sacrifice your personal happiness to satisfy the needs of others, or is it about the great good? Sacrifice your personal life to meet the needs of the outside world because you have the power to do so. So this is a very personal story, Spider-Man 2, the most personal out of the Sam Raimi trilogy. Also, so what makes it worse in this one is sadly that Aunt May is behind in her mortgage payments and her house is foreclosed on. And whilst moving the house to a new flat that she's moving into, one of her neighbors wanted to help her out. And her wanted is like a young kid, only like 8 years old, and he looks up Spider-Man because him as his idol superhero, which convinces Peter to go back to life as Spider-Man. Because this film gives up being Spider-Man after losing his powers. I'm not sure why he loses his powers in the movies because of his depression or he doesn't want Spider-Man. I think Doctor say he wants to have to want to be Spider-Man to get his power, which doesn't make sense. There's no how does that work? You only want to be Spider-Man if you need the power of Spider-Man if you want to be Spider-Man. So if you don't want to be Spider-Man, the powers you lose the powers. It's quite makes sense why he loses his abilities when he gains them. But it's a very personal take on Peter Parker's life. And also the main villain of the story is Doc Octopus, played by Alfred Molina. He's probably, in my opinion, the best villain thus far, not just the Sam Raimi trilogy, in the whole Spider-Man, um, all Spider-Man films, including Tom Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, the best Spider-Man villain to date. Him and I see Green Goblin second. 'Cause he gives excellent performance as Dr. Octopus, the doctor, scientist. He's trying to during a presentation. He uses like a robotic arms. He's like it's not. So basically, he's working with Norman Osborn, no Harry Osborn, to do. He's funded by Norman Osborn to do some type of not a fusion power machine, but it goes wrong. The fusion reaction, this stabilizes, and but then his mechanical technicals, which are he uses to help control the fusion. Acc- Um, because of a power surge, they connect to his body and it becomes part of his body. And but when he wakes up and he goes into a coma from the explosion, he dies in the fallout. He wakes up from doing a surgery trying to move the tentacles. Tentacles have their mind and they kill the surgeons and wakes up and he realizes that he's not human anymore. But this is an excellent film. Nonetheless, this is an excellent film. 10 out of 10 better than Sex Film. This is the best Batman film to date. This is the best Batman film to date. I love this film. I truly, truly love this film. I saw it in the cinema. Saw it Trafford with my family when I was a kid. One of my favorite cinematic experiences is Spider-Man 2. Great cast, everybody's giving their best, Kirsten Dunst, Mary J. Watson, Sheila Dillon. Does she also in this film? She's engaged to J. Jonah Jameson's son, who's astronaut. But you could tell she starts feelings for Peter before that Peter's not returning the love that she feels for him. So there's a lot of conflict how Peter does with issues with Harry with his life as Spider-Man. Spider-Man affects his life in so many ways in one, and Peter struggles. He gives up to Spider-Man initially, and then he realizes that Spider-Man is needed by the people of New York and the world. That there's too many villains for Spider-Man not to be involved. So he convinces him, gets convinced by his next door neighbor. He's from his aunt's neighbor, the young kid. And then Aunt May gets when his Mary Jane gets kidnapped by Dr. Octopus during a lunch at a cafe. He realizes that he has to save the day, and the only way he can save the day is to become back a Spider-Man. But like I said, really, really, really enjoy this film. Like I say, you must. It's over 20 years old. It's a classic. I love this film. I love this film. This came out in 2007. Spider-Man 2 came out in 2004, but the 2.1 edition came out 3 years after in 2007, a couple of months before Spider-Man 3 came out, I believe. Or after Spider-Man 3, when I say, but it's either before or just like after Spider-Man 3 came out in the same year. 8 months isn't much difference. I think the main difference is there's a funny scene where James is trying out the Spider-Man outfit. He's like on the table, calling the table, pinning to Spider-Man. Even doing the Spider-Man, with the finger gesture. When Spider gets his way, he does that, finger gesture. He's holding like his middle finger and he's got three fingers up. And there's a extended scene where Harry's talking to Peter about Spider-Man. He shouts at him because Because he knows that Peter Parker's quite close to Spider-Man. Peter Parker has exclusive photos of Spider-Man, and this makes Harry jealous and anxious. Why is my best friend friends with the guy who murdered my father? He apologizes for the rant. That's in the 2.1 version, not the factor version. And I think there's a couple more scenes, but not a massive. I don't think it's a massive. The Vatican List is a classic on its own right. It's worth watching, but maybe there's two scenes, I guess, make it worth to watch. Was it for the two scene, the Harry scene at the birthday party and Jay Jonathan with Spider-Man suit scene? The rest of that I just never hear it there. It's a good film. 8 minutes, decent, not a classic on its own right, but the film itself is a classic. I'm gonna put this as a classic, as a 2000 classic edition because the film itself is a classic. Extended version, not much difference, but worth a watch just for those two scenes. But like I said, one of the best superhero films of all time. My top five favorite superhero films of all time. To this day, the best Spider-Man film of all time, and an absolute classic. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye now.